Good evening. Ira Epstein with your financial market wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for the evening of the last trading day of April 30th, 2025, 7:50 p.m. I'm very late. There are plenty of reasons for it, folks. We're working with artificial intelligence on editing and posting, and it's working. Little things to work through, but it's going to save me an hour a night, and that's an important hour. Why are we up in the stock market? You ever hear of the word earnings? Earnings beat in Meta and Microsoft. Why is the metal market down? Well, if the stock market's looking better, why do you need to own the gold right here? That's putting pressure on it. The copper was down 25 cents today. China, their factory gate numbers were absolutely terrible. A 49 number, which means contraction, which weighs on the energy markets as well, weighs on the copper. A lot of problems there. Remember, we kept hearing they're ready for everything. I don't know that they are. Bonds and notes pretty much unchanged tonight. We're still getting a bid right now in the Mexican peso, not very much of one, up a fraction, and up a little more in the Aussie dollar, and the dollar's up 19 points. But let's go and take a look. When you look at the S&P, and by the way, my mistake, I want to get rid of that. Damn it. Damn it, I thought I had that moved. Well, good evening. Ira Epstein, and I am late tonight with the financial market wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for the evening as we're here now on April 30th, 2025. I'm late because we're working with artificial intelligence. I had a television show, live one that I had to do. It just screwed all my timing up. I apologize for it. All righty, let's take a look at what you're going to have tomorrow. Tomorrow, you're going to get Challenger Group at 6:30 in the morning, corporate layoffs. You're going to get jobless claims coming out at 7:30. They're looking for 225,000, up just a fraction from what it was last week. We get the final read on the April manufacturing sector PMI from S&P Global Group. ISM is going to give you the release of their April manufacturing sector index. We're going to get at 9 o'clock construction spending. We're going to get at 9:30 another set of numbers on natural gas. They're looking for about 100,000 billion cubic feet increase. Meta and Microsoft, the big beat. I make mention of that because they also said they're going to spend more on CapEx, not what so many traders had worried about, that maybe people are pulling back. In fact, Meta said they're going to increase their spending by 10 billion. So they went from a range of 60 to 65 billion to 64 to 74 billion. Oh my gosh. You're down in the energies because if China sneezes with its manufacturing, which it did, their factory gate numbers like our manufacturing PMI, any reading under 50's contraction. They got a 49 reading. That put the pressure on the energies and the copper market. But instead of going through all that, let's just look at the chart action. If you get more of a rally, I look for the 18-week average to pretty much stymie the rally and for us not to get up and going to the new contract highs. Could I be wrong? Very much so. But as a chartist, that's what I'm looking for. The market is making an argument that the panic on April 7th was your washout low. Remember, that was Liberty. With the tariffs coming out, Liberty Day, that was also the time the bond market froze up, if you will, and the rates went up to the 5% level, and the market has clawed all the way back as though nothing happened on that day. A pretty amazing rally, no question about it. You can see how the trend is up. The bias is up as you're over the 18-day average. If you just kept running, 58.75 to 65 would be the resistance areas. The Bollinger Band's a better resistance zone, though, at the 57, let's call it 32 level. And Tomorrow can determine, do you get an embedded reading? I'm not going to review what that means tonight. Regular viewers know it. I'm late and I'm not going to teach as much as I normally do. Look for the resistance at 2029, the upper Bollinger Band in the NASDAQ, and it too is knocking on the door of getting an embedded reading. The Dow, nowhere near it, just an overbought market, spending a lot of power on this rally. Look for resistance if it can get there to 4176. If you take out today's lows tomorrow, you have problems in the market, and it probably means this rally has run out of this thrust that it had, and it needs to, if you will, go back and take a power drink and figure out what it's going to get to continue that if it can do so. When I look at the Russell, overbought. I look at resistance at 2020, support back here at the 18-day average of closes. In the DAX, are we going to get to the Bollinger Band? We've hit window envelope numbers, which I don't show here. You've hit my main target number. That's what I want to say. You have an embedded reading. If it wants to continue, wherever that Bollinger Band is, could be the next target zone. It often misses it by a fraction. In the 10-year notes, you've come back on interest rates to the point where why does the Fed have to do anything? The market's doing the Fed's job in breaking rates. The higher you go in futures, the lower the interest rate goes. And that's what you're having in those two markets. In the dollar, once you had lost the bearish embedded reading, it's often a prelude to price and the 18-day average making a run at each other, and so far that is the case. You never had the embedded reading in the euro. Instead, you're falling back to support at the 18-day average of closes. The British pound, the market is saying, and I think it's right now, it's making a decision. Is there one more leg up, or does the market get a close on under 79, and this is it, and now the market starts falling back towards the 18-day average? Right now, the pros are probably buying the market, and they'll play it intraday looking if that happens. That's what I think. Do I know? It's a guess. In Bitcoin, I'm looking at the resistance of the green, the 100-day average. While you've had the embedded reading, you spent a lot of power to get here. As much as I have longer term, the 100,000 mark, I wonder if you're running into too much resistance right now, and some of the pros are taking some money off the table. In the oil, take a look. As soon as you saw that Chinese print, oil came apart. But this is a short cover zone. You're down, oversold to the first challenge of a Bollinger Band since the beginning of the month. No, I think the pros are taking money off the table. Same thing here. If they're short, I think they're coming out right here in the crude. Gasoline is not trending. It's got a higher high, lower low, really not doing anything there. And in the nat gas, you've had a bearish reading that was lost. You've hit the first price target of the 200-day average. I'd love to see for gravy it get to 341, but it doesn't have to really go much higher. It needs to now close over that to say that a bullish trend is ensuing. It's hit its first target. That's the way I look at it. I do want to remind one and all that every morning I put out, for the futures, the stocks, the spiders, and the ETFs, a subscriber video. In that video, what happens, the charts look like this. That is where I say I want you to buy here, I want you to sell here. I track the trades from beginning to end for you. I give you objectives, movement of stops and the like, and profit objectives. I do 40 charts on futures. I do another 40 spider stock and ETF. I do the futures 6 in the morning, and by design I do at 9 o'clock Central Time. I do the spider ETF. I want the first half hour of trading to get in there. How you get this is pretty simple. You can go to iraepstein.com research. Now, as you're watching this video, you're going to see on the top right a circle with an eye in it. If you click that, it takes you to the bottom of this video, and there's a link that you just hit, and it takes you right where you have to go on the website. It's something new that now YouTube is working with. No longer the link on the page, an eye, and then under it the explanation of what it is. I'm Ira. Have yourself a good day.